Well, for two main reasons. The first, I've always loved Ernst Haeckel's old drawing. I started making these sculptures because I was always obsessed with Ernst Haeckel's beautiful shapes and artwork. These stunning pictures of tiny sea creatures that no one could see before. He made the hidden beauty of nature visible for the first time, showing patterns that feel almost magical, like they're everywhere in the universe. And now for the first time we're able to actually make them in 3D. The technology is there. It's a thrilling technology that finally caught up, and this whole series brings it all together. And the other reason is that these tiny ocean creatures have amazing stories to tell. They're the start of all life in the sea. And their fossils show us what the oceans were like a long time ago, warm or cold. Were they clean? Were they changing? Are they polluted or less polluted? They can help clean our air by soaking up carbon, and they remind us of how connected everything is. So turning them into these beautiful sculptures, and beautiful I mean nature is inherently beautiful, feels like shining a light on something super important, but usually invisible. Well, it begins with a team going out to sea and diving deep with robots to collect mud from underwater volcanoes. We're talking about kilometers down. And back in the lab, they find the most interesting and beautiful tiny fossils.
Yes. You are early, huh? Yeah, it's like that. Yeah.
If you would be interested in longer time scales,
Right.
so going back in time, because the subsurface is an own sedimentary archive basically,
Right.
then you need core sections, we call that. So you have a pipe
Right.
which is going down through the water column, and at a certain level you leave it free falling, above,
Okay.
and then it penetrates in the subsurface also over a length of 3, 4, 5, 6 meters,
it can go
classically.
quite deep.
Yeah, indeed. So then you have a longer time record.
Right.
What you see here is a species Lofelia pertusa, mainly.
I make a selection of the most aesthetically pleasing ones, and then we scan them with a super powerful X-ray machine, like a nano scanner, of which there are only a few in the world. And with this technology, we make the perfect digital copy, slice by slice, and then we 3D print them in a way bigger, using a certain kind of plastic material. To make them last forever and look incredible, we cast them into bronze. It's like the lost wax method, but shapes are so delicate it takes real skill to get the hot metal just to flow without messing up. And believe me, it took us many tries, but we made it. And when it's done, you have these glowing bronze sculptures of creatures that were once one-celled and microscopic. Yeah, every time I come, I have to bring something, you know?
That's very nice.
That's really, that's cool.
And then, yeah, that's what I think is a nice thing on this project, because you look for hours through the microscope, and you have these very tiny organisms. We visualize them in 3 dimensions, we try to understand their morphology, we try to understand, to unravel what they tell by measuring geochemical proxies on them. And then you make them visible, basically, for everybody. So that's fascinating and touchable, yeah, indeed.
Yeah. It's actually a big team effort. The University of Fribourg in Switzerland and in the Netherlands, and the Science Park Utrecht, and Cadence Science Partner, who gave the big assignment for the radiolarian you see in the atrium. We have the 3D printing experts, the bronze casters with 30 years of experience, and the animators, and now we have the filmmakers as well. Science can feel far away sometimes, locked in labs that we don't get to see every day. And I'd love the public to see what it's actually about, basically for public outreach. I want this project to bring it closer, to spark the wonders about the tiny things that keep our planet alive, and now show us how much teamwork it takes to make the invisible a reality. We got a huge boost at a big plankton science conference in Edinburgh, and these were all plankton scientists. People who studied these creatures under the microscope for years suddenly saw them huge in 3D, and their faces lit up. It was absolute magic to see them. That inspires us to share it more widely, like at schools and in exhibitions. Cadon's science partner was building a huge new building in the Utrecht Science Park, and they thought, why not put a massive sculpture in the middle of the atrium? We chose a radiolarian, which is a one-celled organism, like a beautiful spiky plankton shape, and it mixes art, science, and a message about how fragile yet resilient nature can be. And we thought this was the perfect combination for this specific building in the science park. We built it from 144 3D printed pieces, and we hung it from one thin steel cable. We made it fire resistant, fireproof actually, and with hidden supports and foam inside. And it's got on the inside is also a metal skeleton. And then we gave it a natural black sand coating. It floats there now like a giant living organic jewel. Well, I want to go even smaller and sculpt these tiniest nanofossils and see if we can go to the very cutting edge of what this machine is capable of. These nanofossils, they're amazing star-shaped ones from many millions of years ago, and scale them up huge and make them feel alive. It's for a new show called The Origin of Shape. And why does the universe make these gorgeous patterns at every scale, from the microscopic to the very massive? It's the question that keeps me going. And secondly, we have largely severed our connection to the natural world. And it is this disconnection that lies at the heart of our growing sense of separation from one another. I'm deeply obsessed with discovering how we can truly reconnect. And this is why we have made these last series of planktonic lightworks. When these extraordinary forms are placed in an urban, predominantly concrete environment, they often awaken in the viewer a profound longing to return to our original source. A place many of us have forgotten amid these turbulent times and at this age of relentless exponential change. And I'd love to show this hidden beauty which is not visible for the naked eye. Basically, well, making the invisible visible.
To actually translate our science into something more understandable maybe as well.
Or at least tangible, so that once you can touch something, it's like, okay, the story evolves.